story because Chrysler seems poised to emerge from bankruptcy. The US Supreme Court has cleared what the automaker hopes is the final roadblock in the sale of most of its assets to Fiat. Now, the court declined to hear a challenge to the deal from the three funds in the US state of Indiana. Well, to explain, hopefully more clearly than I just have done, we're joined on the line by our Washington correspondent, Guillaume Meyer. Guillaume, then, does this mean that the Chrysler sale is a done deal, can we hope?
Yeah, clearly there is no reason now why the deal between Chrysler and Fiat could not happen. And this is the deal, by the way, that has been described as Barack Obama as the only way to save Chrysler and avoid a liquidation. This means that in the end, Obama will get what he wanted, that is a fast bankruptcy. And also means that the Supreme Court does not want to know whether some bondholders think they may get a better deal through a liquidation. The Supreme Court is saying we're not interested in talking about that. We don't want to give any time to that. And of course, that was the case with Chrysler, with some bondholders thinking that, well, they don't want to deal with Fiat. They wanted to go through liquidation and possibly get more money, or at least more of their money back than what the Obama administration decided to give them in the end.
And Guillaume, it's Doug Herbert here. Just a quick question for you. Does this mean that GM, if the creditors there had been having any second thoughts about perhaps making their own claims, now all bets are off? They're not going to do it after the court turned down the Chrysler challenge?
Well, clearly the Chrysler bankruptcy was seen here by experts and analysts as a test, as a dress rehearsal, if you will, for what was to come, what is to come with General Motors. And if some bondholders of General Motors were thinking, wait a minute, we may also want to ask more money and we may go to the Supreme Court, well, there is their answer. The Supreme Court does not want to get into that. The Supreme Court has decided that the Obama administration should pretty much go ahead with its plans as far as Chrysler and General Motors is concerned. Of course, that's bad news for some bondholders who were expecting to make more money, but that's good news for Obama's industrial policy and the plans that he has to save Chrysler and General Motors, and of course some of the jobs that do come with those companies.
Guillaume, we're going to obviously have to leave it there, but we'll be following this and seeing if that deal does in fact get back on the road again. Now